The cultural and ethnic events that take place each year within the Black community adds an extra dimension to a city that is multi-ethnic and multiracial. It's always exciting to be part of some activity that uses the talents and skills of all people. Well, that's what Parson and Darrell Pope and the Black community in Hutchinson are doing with the events that occur yearly in this town. What a joy. Please welcome my friends Parson and Darrell Pope.
Good evening. I am Parson.
And I am Darrell Pope.
We're ready. Each year, we celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Typically, it takes place on Sunday and Monday. Monday, the third Monday in January, is viewed as the holiday for Dr. King. I am glad to say to you tonight that we have been doing this now for 31 years. The next slide is our first march that took place about 3 years ago. The HCC Jazz Band led us from Second Baptist Church to Stringer Fine Arts. Once inside of the Fine Arts building, you will see all the ministers lined up on the stage. And on that day, I felt lifted and higher because we had so many ministers representing the local churches in Hutchinson, Kansas, including some of the ministers from Wichita, Kansas. During our first march, we always, at all times, emphasize LOVE, because we know that love can solve many problems that we not only have in Hutchinson, but across the nation. You will see over to your left, or to your right rather, we encourage young folks to get involved with the King Day, and you will see a number of young folks, and also the president of Hutchinson Community College, Dr. Carter Fowle, and his wife. Again, what a joy to see that type of interaction going on for the King Day holiday. At the top there, that's a group from Salina, Kansas, a choir with the Reverend Alan Smith as the pastor, and my sidekick, the lower picture there, you see Mr. Darrell Pope, and his son, Darrell Pope, and two members of their church on the day that we were marching. A very important feature of the King Day activities is always the Emancipation Day Youth Choir under the direction of Brenda Franklin. And the choir was formed for the sole purposes a few years ago, participating in the Emancipation Day Celebration that takes place in August. Now you see a picture of the choir from Wichita, Kansas. They decided to come together to come over and join us on that particular King Day, and we were very pleased to have them. Therefore, we're saying to everyone, we're reaching out beyond the boundaries of Hutchinson, Kansas. And we have a picture. You can see me at the podium. Beulah High School Choir is in the background. Badinage Group is in the lower right-hand side. ACC under the direction of Neil Asa. And you have the Emancipation Day Youth Choir and some members as well. Now, Darrell Pope.
The slide you see before you is a cover program for the annual NAACP Freedom Fund Banquet. The annual fundraiser helps support local programs and grassroots initiatives that we call our 5 game changers: quality education, accessible health care, economic sustainability, and equal justice reform. This slide is in the upper right-hand corner is a presentation being made by Mrs. Dolly Ferrer, the chairperson of our Freedom Fund Committee. At the bottom, we have Mr. David Dillon, whom was the keynote speaker for that particular dinner, and he was the former president of the Kroger Companies. And this event was held at the Stringer Fine Arts Center in the Gallery Theater. Here we have Mr. Reddick Hudson, Regional Director for Region 4 of the NAACP. He was our featured speaker for 2016. Mr. Hudson's a former police officer from St. Louis. He's a regular media commentator on criminal justice, racial justice, and has traveled the country speaking at national conferences for the ACLU, the NAACP, and keynoting other events on criminal and racial justice. This is a cover of a program for the annual Emancipation Day Celebration. The Emancipation Day Celebration is a local event that we observe on the first weekend in August. This past celebration marked the 128th year, and we have a float here. This is one of the floats on the Emancipation Day in the parade, representing various ethnic groups and diversity in our community, and the caption is, "Bridging the Gap." This entry was presented by the Macedonia Missionary Baptist Church. This next one is the Emancipation Day banner being carried at the head of the parade with 3 of our local residents. Immediately behind the banner, we can find or get a glimpse of soldiers from Fort Riley presenting the colors. On this one, this particular float, we have, it's one of the floats that we have from the, it's a unique float. It's an antique pickup truck with the caption, "Celebrate Diversity." This was presented by the Hutchinson Baha'is, and we make an effort to extend an invitation to all organizations, clubs, and businesses that vision diversity that what makes our country a great place to live. This particular slide here is from the Boys and Girls Club here in Hutchinson, and you see several of the members of the Boys and Girls Club riding on that. And this was in our '04 parade, and this is one of the years we had at least 3 entries from the Boys and Girls Club. This slide is from our Charlotte Menace Tell Us About It Black History poster contest. Students from grades 1 through 6 from USD 308 South Hutchinson and various other schools present persons of in various categories: education, science, politics, with a 3-minute presentation or less about the person that they're representing. This is another picture of a young lady representing Harriet Tubman, who was the one of the main characters for the Underground Railroad that helped get slaves to freedom from the South. Okay, this last one, Walking While Black.
And finally, Walking While Black, that is an extension from our community to the police department in terms of we support the efforts of the Hutchinson Police Department. And in February, the 3rd Saturday, we will have a movie, Walking While Black, Love is the Answer. Thank you.